What's going on, fellas? It's another C Boogie. Y'all know the rest. Hey, I want to salute y'all for subscribing to my channel, and I also want to thank y'all for liking my videos. Shout out to the Dime Game Division. All right, let's rock and roll, man. Men have egos. Men, we have egos, and women want revenge. Check it out, man. When it comes to men and our egos, right? It's our egos that drive us in competition with other men, for resources, for opportunities, to mate, out here chasing paper. It's our egos that motivate us. It's our egos that keep us on our toes. But an ego that's not checked can really spin out of control, man. And have men driving outside of your lane, doing things that you really don't need to be doing, all for the sake of, pride, a bravado, you dig? And when dealing with women, as far as a man's ego is concerned, you can have a good female on your arm. You can have a good woman on your arm. And y'all know how it go, right? The moment you try to chill, the moment you try to settle down, with your lady, this is when other females comes out the woodworks. Now they want to get at you. Now all of a sudden you on their radar. It's our ego that make us want more women. You can have a good situation at home. Everything could be running smooth, but you don't want to turn down that beautiful female that's all up in your grill piece and she real teethy. It's our ego that make a lot of men want to deal with 4, 5, 6 different women at the same time. Real talk. Even if you're driving outside of your lane with it, it's all ego. It's all ego to have a lot of dudes thinking that they can handle some women that they have no business dealing with. But see, here's the thing about women. Women are in competition with other women. It just is what it is. But at the same time, their dealings with men, in most cases, it's revenge based. Women can hold things in for weeks, months, even years. Matter of fact, I'll give you one better. There's some women out there that's married now that been holding things in, with her husband for 15, 20 years. And at the opportunity where she can get this man back, she'll take it. And that's what make women so dangerous. See, with men and our egos, a lot of times, man, it's instant gratification that we want. But women, once they put that mask on, dog, they out for blood at that point. So you got to be careful with this, man. Every time a woman shows her teeth, that's not a good smile right there, man. You got to know what's behind that smile. You got to know what's motivating that smile that she's giving you at that time. Especially if you wronged her. Especially if you wronged her. And see, here's the thing about a lot of men. I'm just going to be 100 with it. A lot of men go wrong when they lie to women. I'm going to tell you just like this, man. Some of y'all may already know. If your woman come up to you and ask you a question, about other women, about certain situations, 9 times out of 10, she already got the answer. She may not have every detail and nuance of what happened in that situation, but she already know what happened. And most men go wrong when they lie. And that right there really breaks the trust in a relationship. Not the fact that you made a mistake or not the fact that you did something stupid. It's really the fact that you lied about it. You did. Real talk. You can ask any female, you can ask any woman. You know what I'm saying? So when a female is in revenge mode, what makes them so dangerous is they don't have a conscience at that point. They start dipping into a real dark energy. That's why you get these situations where women, they'll sleep with a man's family member, co-worker. They'll sleep with her boss, then bring you to the office party and embarrass you in front of everybody. And it's your ego that's hurt at that moment. She bruised your pride, she hurt you. See what I'm saying? But that's all ego based. So for all men out here, man, you got to check your ego at the door when dealing with women. It's a man's ego that won't allow him to know his limitations, when it comes to women. To even know your lane, to even think that you got a lane. And look, you don't have to. But this is where a lot of dudes go wrong. It could be a perfectly good woman out there that suits a man's program, but a lot of time he'll look over her to go after, another woman that just look real good because she's real pretty. She didn't display any kind of wife qualities. She didn't display any kind of mother or girlfriend qualities. He just want her because she looked good, kind of like the trophy that he can show her off to the friends and, try to impress them. But really, beside a pretty face and a nice body, the girl was really worthless to his program. But that's all ego based at that moment. She doesn't suit you. Y'all not even equally yoked. You dig? Y'all not even equally yoked. So, like I say, when it come to women, as they holding these things in for weeks, months, years at a time, and it's just building up. She haven't forgot. She haven't forgot, dog. But when she strike, when she finally decides to show those teeth, it tears a lot of men out the frame. Because a lot of dudes forget about certain situations and relationships, the things that they did. Real talk. Over time, we just forget things, but women don't, man. They may let it go. They put it on the back burner for a while. So when a woman goes out and does something, in spite of a man, the way they rationalize it is, well, he did something 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Well, you did something 18 months ago. So a lot of women, they don't rationalize things like men. You know what I'm saying? When women cheat on a man, dog, it's a funny way of how they think about it. You dig? It's not always tit for tat at that moment. They got a little way in their own mind to calm themselves down. You know what I'm saying? So they won't bring a bunch of conviction and shame on their own life. So they just got an ill mentality when it comes to trying to rationalize why they do certain things. And the only people that really understand it is other women. Men, we don't get why they do the things that they do. That's why a lot of women stick together. Straight up. That's why a lot of women stick together, man. You could be watching something on TV, and the way men look at it, a female completely violated a man. But then you'll have your woman sitting right next to you, and she can empathize with that. Like, you ever notice that? Women are revenge seekers, man. Especially if they feel that they have been done wrong. You dig? Especially if they feel that they have been done wrong. So, always remember that, man. Always remember that, man. Men, like I say, our egos can drive us to success, but at the same time, our egos be the same thing that can destroy us. I was listening to Mike Tyson say, it was like an interview online or something, and Mike Tyson was saying one of the reasons he doesn't really work out like he used to is because it's going to awaken his ego. The same ego that made him $300-400 million is the same ego that caused Mike Tyson to end up in jail. So all men, you got to check yourself in these areas, man. know what I'm saying? Really, truth be told, a lot of men need to be protected from themselves. You know, because you can crash and burn out here, man. Seriously, you can crash and burn out here. You know, and a lot of times it's validation from other friends. You know, it could be a married guy with a bunch of single friends, you know, but he feel like he got to keep up with his single friends, you know, and do what they do, knowing he got a pretty decent situation at home, you know, what suits him. But a lot of dudes do that anyway, all for the sake of ego. You know, dog, the epitome of a man, you know, in terms of dealing with women, you know, is how much sex you can turn down. You know, that shows discipline. It shows self-control. You know, once you get to that point, man, you on autopilot when you can turn down sex from certain women. You know, it don't matter what her body look like. It don't matter what her face look like. You know, it don't matter if she's chasing after you and she's thirsty. You know, when you can turn it down because you got a good situation, or you can turn it down, you know, just because you don't feel like being bothered with. Man, that shows a lot of restraint and a lot of discipline. You know, young men, it's real hard to do because when we're young, you still got that feeling of being invincible. You know, you can't be stopped. You know, you feel like you just can't die. You know, that's just the feeling of being a young man. You know, but as you get older, you start to realize, man, you got to drop some of these bad habits, man. You know, real talk, you got to see the forest from the trees at that moment, man, because as you get older, you got a lot more things to lose. You know, it's a lot more at stake. And that's what your younger years, that's what your youth is for, to make certain mistakes. But as you start to climb up there in age and climb up there in ranks, dog, it's no time for silly, stupid, juvenile mistakes at that moment. You know, and look, I get it, nobody's perfect, but some things you just gotta learn from, you know, period. You know, period. You know, it's a man's ego that make him think he don't have to apologize to another human being. You know, it's a man's ego to have him thinking nothing he do is wrong. You know, his shit don't stink. It's a man's ego that make him say, I don't have to look in the mirror. You know, it's a man's ego that make him pull out a list of requirements for women, and he don't even meet a quarter on what's on that list. I mean, just completely delusional, outlandish standards. Man, that's all ego-based, man. All ego-based. It's no evidence. You know what I'm saying? It's no evidence in your own life that you can have what's on that list. Let me digress for a second. I'm having a boogie moment real quick. There's some dudes online with a list of 50 requirements they have for women, which is fine, fair enough. But some of these guys be in their 40s, mid-40s. And I just propose a simple question. Like, dog, it's been 40-something years you've been on this earth. And that female that you have listed, you know, those requirements that you got for women that you have listed, you haven't even came close to obtaining that. What makes you think you're going to get it now? Like, seriously, what makes you think you're going to get it now? Wishful thinking, right? Water seeks its own level, right? Yo, but let me guess, that's only valid when it comes to women. It's not valid when it comes to men. Man, that's all ego. When it comes to men, water seeks its own level too. Water seeks its own level too. That go for both sexes, man. So I'm going to close with this. Be careful when you're dealing with women, man. Know what you can handle. Do what you can handle. You know, for real. If you've been cheating on your girl for the last 5 years, it's going to take that one time for her to cheat on you. You be ready to jump off a bridge. And we know how dudes think. You know, you're going to ask all kind of silly questions. Well, did you kiss him? Because I know y'all. Well, did you kiss him? Did you suck his penis? Y'all going to be asking the girl stupid questions that you already know the answer to. She sucked your penis, didn't she? What make you think she ain't going to suck his? Especially in a state of revenge. Nah, she put it on that man. Hard body karate. Hard body karate. And she came right home to you, made you dinner, licked you dead in the face. And them same teeth you seen that you thought was a smile was the same teeth that bit you, dog. Check your ego at the door. Shout out to the Dime Game Division. Peace.